The crystal chandelier above my parents' dining table catches the light like 1,000 broken promises. I smooth my black dress, a small armor of dignity that cost more than it should have, and watch my father pour wine worth more than my weekly groceries. To Sam's incredible victory, he announces, raising his glass toward my sister. The youngest attorney in firm history to win a case this big. My mother reaches across polished oak to squeeze Sam's manicured hand. We always knew you were destined for greatness, darling. I watch my sister glow under their worship, her salon-perfect highlights catching the light as she dips her head in false modesty. It was really just good preparation and natural talent, Mom interrupts. Never downplay your gifts, Samantha. The words taste like ash in my mouth as I gather courage. The article mentioned how you connected with the jury. That emotional intelligence is, did you tell them what the judge said? Dad cuts through my words like I'm background noise. Samantha, tell them about his comments afterward. My voice evaporates. Another familiar ritual where Sam shines while I dissolve into wallpaper. I focus on breathing, on the weight of silver against my palm. Anything to anchor myself as conversation flows around me like water around stone. Kylie, pass the potatoes. Mom's first direct acknowledgement in 20 minutes. I comply, then try again. My department's implementing a new compliance system I helped design. Did I mention Sam's firm is considering her for junior partner? Mom's voice lifts with pride. At 32. Can you imagine? My throat constricts. I'm 29, 3 years younger than my brilliant sister, yet somehow decades behind in their eyes. Mom turns to me with that look, the one preceding her helpful life suggestions. You know, if you'd finished that MBA instead of just your bachelor's, you might be further along by now. The MBA I postponed when they called sobbing about foreclosure. The degree gathering dust in my someday file while my savings hemorrhage month after month. I'm doing fine, I manage. Mom sighs, exchanging glances with Dad. Fine isn't exceptional, though, is it? She sets down her fork with surgical precision. Honestly, Kylie, you're not even half the woman your sister is. The dining room goes silent. Even the antique clock seems to pause its ticking. My water glass trembles in my hand, ripples spreading across the surface. Heat crawls up my neck as the words slam into me, stealing oxygen from my lungs. The clock resumes. Tick, tick, tick. Something shifts inside me. 4 years of silence, 4 years of sacrifice, 4 years of invisibility crystallizing into this moment. Then let her pay the mortgage for this house. The words emerge quiet but deadly. Dad's fork clatters against china. Mortgage? What mortgage? Sam's champagne freezes halfway to her lips. Mom's face drains to porcelain white. Kylie, this is hardly dinner conversation. Mom's voice pitches high. Who wants dessert? I made your favorite? No. The strength in my voice surprises even me. I pull out my phone, fingers steady now as I open my banking app. What are you talking about? Dad blusters. We refinanced years ago. I turn the screen toward them. February 15th, 2021. $2,500 to prevent foreclosure. Just this once, you said. Mom stands abruptly. This is ridiculous. I'm getting dessert. March, April, May. I scroll through 4 years of evidence. Every month between $1,200 and $2,400 depending on what crisis came up. Kylie? Dad's face hardens. We've had temporary setbacks in the business. You know that. Temporary? 4 years isn't temporary. I turn to Sam, whose confusion morphs into horror. Did you know? While you were buying your condo and climbing the ladder, I was keeping our parents from losing their house. Sam shakes her head slowly. They told me they were helping you financially. That you were struggling? A bitter laugh escapes me. Is that what they told you? A daughter supports her family, Mom says tearfully, returning empty-handed. That's how we raised you. Family comes first. Always. Family comes first, I repeat hollowly. But I'm not really family, am I? I'm an ATM, the backup plan. The safety net you never acknowledge. The realization washes over me with startling clarity. All those years trying to measure up, accepting less, making myself smaller. For what? So they could drain me dry while praising my sister for achievements my sacrifice helped enable? Sam sets down her glass carefully. How much, Kylie, total? I meet her eyes directly. $84,000. Dad chokes on his wine. That's preposterous, but his protest lacks conviction. They all know now. My down payment for a home, I say, voice steadier than I feel. My MBA, my future. The silence feels different now. Heavy with exposed secrets, with truth meeting oxygen for the first time. And beneath the anger and hurt, something else unfurls. Freedom. Back in my apartment, memories assault me like lightning strikes. The phone rings at 11:37 on a Tuesday night. I nearly ignore it, already half asleep under my IKEA comforter, but intuition makes me reach for it. Kylie? Mom's voice breaks on my name. I didn't know who else to call. I sit up, suddenly alert. What's wrong? Is someone hurt? The house, a muffled sob. We're going to lose the house. The next minutes blur as she explains through tears. Missed payments, dad's struggling firm, foreclosure notice, 30 days, auction. How much? I ask, already opening my laptop, watching my savings account glow on screen. 3 years of overtime and brown bag lunches? My condo down payment fund, $2,500, she whispers. Just to stop foreclosure. Charles swears the Brewster contract's coming through next month. She pauses. Honey, I wouldn't ask, but we have nowhere else to turn. My cursor hovers over transfer. The Colonial on Maple Street, 30 years of memories. My childhood bedroom. The oak tree that broke my arm at 8. Sunday pot roasts in that dining room. Just this once, Mom promises. Your father's mortified I even called. We'll pay you back the minute his commission clears. I click. 2,500 vanishes, numbers falling like an elevator in free fall. Thank you, sweetheart, Mom says, relief washing her voice clean. We raised such a good girl. Dad gets on briefly. Won't happen again, Kylie Bear. Just a tough month. His forced heartiness echoes childhood disappointments, canceled zoo trips, Christmas bikes that never materialized. I stare at my depleted balance long after hanging up. The hollowness in my stomach has nothing to do with hunger, just this once. 3 weeks later, Mom calls again. The bank made a mistake with processing. Her voice carries expectation now, not desperation. Just $1,200 this time. I transfer the money. A month passes. Your father's client is late paying, but business will bounce back. Another transfer. By month 6, I stop waiting for explanations to change. Stop expecting repayment. I set up automatic transfers, $1,500 monthly directly to their mortgage company. Easier than the calls, the tearful gratitude, the empty promises. My email pings Wednesday afternoon. Denver downtown condo development, presale opportunity. I open it during lunch, exactly what I've been saving for. Walking distance to work, perfect price range, available with just 10% down. I check my savings. After 6 months of transfers, I'm back where I started 3 years ago. The units sell out in 48 hours. That night, I defer my MBA acceptance for the second time. Financial circumstances, I write. The university will hold my spot 1 more year. After that, I'll need to reapply. I create a spreadsheet. Columns for dates, amounts, running totals. A separate tab for opportunities declined. The condo, education, my roommate's wedding in Spain. 6 months becomes a year. A year becomes 2. On lunch break, I microwave ramen in the office kitchen. My phone buzzes. Mom at Marcello's, the upscale Italian place. Anniversary dinner. Blessed, Dad's new golf clubs lean against their dining room wall in another photo the following week. Can't make it this weekend. I text friends planning a camping trip. Tight on cash. The third such excuse this summer. They stop asking eventually. The credit card rejection arrives via email. Insufficient credit history and income to debt ratio. Same day, Sam posts her condo closing photos. Homeowner at last. Adulting. Family congratulations overflow the comments. Your sister always had such a good head on her shoulders. Mom tells me at Easter dinner while I calculate how many months until I can restart my MBA fund. Financial independence is a sign of maturity. I nod, swallowing both irony and instant mashed potatoes. At the office holiday party, Jessica from accounting slides beside me. You okay? You've been brown bagging for months. Her eyes hold genuine concern, not pity. Just saving, I say. The lie automatic now. She studies me over cheap Chardonnay. For what exactly? Because you never actually buy anything. Something in her direct gaze breaks through my deflections. Over after-work coffee that becomes dinner, the story spills out. 4 years, 84,000, the endless cycle. Jessica sets down her mug decisively. Kylie, you can't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. They're my parents, I say weakly. And you're their daughter, not their bank. She pulls a napkin closer, uncaps a pen. Let's do some math. We calculate the true cost, not just dollars, but compound interest lost, career advancement delayed, retirement contributions missed. The final sum makes my hands shake. They wouldn't understand, I whisper. Maybe not, Jessica agrees. But do you understand what you're giving up? That night, I stare at my bank app, thumb hovering over the automatic transfer. 4 years. 80 fu. Parents, 84,000. My finger trembles, not ready to press cancel, but for the first time, imagining it. Just this once, I think. I could skip just this once. I press my thumb against cool glass and close my eyes. When I open them, the transfer confirmation stares back. 1 more month of self-immolation. But something has shifted. In my darkened phone screen's reflection, I glimpse determination that wasn't there before. The bank app glows at 5:48 a.m. Monday morning. I haven't slept since that terrible dinner. My thumb hovers over cancel automatic transfer as dawn creeps through my blinds. For 4 years, I've transferred between $1,200 and $2,400 monthly to my parents. $84,000. A Denver condo when prices were reasonable. The MBA I kept deferring. A retirement fund with years of compound interest. All sacrificed for a mortgage that wasn't mine, a house I don't inhabit. Owned by people who said I wasn't even half the woman my sister is. My finger trembles as I press the button. Are you sure you want to cancel this recurring transfer? Am I? I press confirm. My stomach lurches like I've jumped from a high dive, but instead of water, I'm falling into freedom. The sensation is so foreign I nearly reach for the trash can. But beneath the nausea blooms relief so profound my body sags against the headboard. For the first time in 4 years, my next paycheck belongs entirely to me. The first call comes before I've finished my coffee. Dad's name flashes on screen. I let it go to voicemail. Kylie. His voice is granite and gravel. What you did last night was inexcusable. We've supported you your entire life, and this is how you repay us? By abandoning your family when we need you most? Call me back. Immediately. I delete the message and block his number. By noon, Mom has left 4 messages, each more tearful. By 3 p.m., I've blocked her too. Sam texts. They say you're punishing them. What's happening? They won't stop calling me. I type back. Ask them about the mortgage payments I've been making for 4 years. 3 dots appear, disappear, reappear. Finally, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. The doorbell rings at 6:14 p.m. Through the peephole, I see Mom clutching a photo album. Kylie, honey, I know you're in there. Her voice carries through wood. I brought pictures from when you were little. Remember how we were always there for you? Remember your first ballet recital when you fell and Daddy carried you off stage? What I remember is working 3 jobs in college while Sam's tuition was paid in full. What I remember is postponing grad school for their temporary setback that lasted 4 years. I don't open the door. By morning, my aunt in Phoenix has called about my poor parents. My uncle in Michigan emails about family responsibility. Cousins I haven't spoken to in years suddenly need to check on me. The family mobilization is impressive in its coordination. They're good, Jessica says over coffee. I've got to hand it to them. They've got the flying monkeys out in force. Flying monkeys? From Wizard of Oz, the witch sends them to do her dirty work. She stirs her latte. Classic manipulation tactic. When direct approach fails, enlist others to apply pressure. I've known Jessica 3 years, but in this moment, she feels like the first person who's truly seen me. I made an appointment with a financial advisor, I tell her. Tomorrow morning, she squeezes my hand. I'm proud of you. The advisor's office smells like leather and lemon polish. Martha adjusts her glasses, reviewing my statements. 84,000 over 4 years. She sets down her tablet. And they never disclosed this to your sister or acknowledged it publicly? No. And you had no legal obligation to pay their mortgage? Then what you've experienced is financial exploitation. She leans forward, voice firm. Family exploitation is still exploitation, Kylie. Hearing someone in authority name it sends shivers down my spine. I've been exploited, not helped. Not supported, exploited. Let's make a budget, Martha says. One that prioritizes your future. When she shows me the projection, where I could be in 5 years without the drain, tears spring to my eyes. College funds for future children, retirement contributions matching my company's offering, a down payment fund that grows instead of depleting. This is what financial health looks like, Martha says gently. The next morning, I open my first investment account with the $1,400 I would have transferred to my parents. The act feels like planting a flag on distant territory. This money is mine. This future is mine. That afternoon, I enroll in the graduate course I've deferred 7 consecutive semesters. Welcome back, Miss Anderson, the admissions counselor says. We've held your spot. 3 weeks pass. Extended family calls taper off. Sam texts occasionally, careful, neutral messages skirting our family's new reality. My parents alternate between silence and escalating attempts at contact. I've rehearsed what I'll say when I finally speak to them. Jessica helps craft the script. I practice in my bathroom mirror. I love you, but your mortgage is not my responsibility. Simple, direct, unassailable. The knock comes Sunday evening as I review case studies for my first graduate class. 3 sharp raps, Dad's signature. I open the door to both parents in the hallway. Mom's eyes are red-rimmed. Dad's jaw set in the rigid line preceding childhood punishments. This has gone on long enough, he says, pushing past me. You've made your point. Mom follows, reaching for my hand. I step back. Your behavior is destroying this family, Dad continues, pacing my small living room. Do you have any idea what people are saying? Your Aunt Margaret asked if you were having some kind of breakdown. Charles. Mom murmurs in caution. No, Elaine. She needs to hear this. He turns to face me. You've embarrassed us. You've created a family crisis over a little financial help any daughter would provide without question. 84,000 is not a little help, I say, voice steadier than I feel. You're killing me with this betrayal, Mom whispers, tears spilling. After everything we've done for you. The rehearsed script evaporates. In its place rises something raw and real and entirely mine. I love you both, I say. But your mortgage is not my responsibility. It never was. Dad's face flushes crimson. So that's it. You're just abandoning us? I'm not abandoning you. I'm stopping the abandonment of myself. The words hang between us, undeniable in their truth. They leave 7 minutes later, Mom sobbing, Dad rigid with fury. As the door closes behind them, my knees give way. I slide to the floor, tears streaming, body shaking with sobs ripped from somewhere primal. But beneath the grief runs a current of something unexpected, lightness, as if heavy stones have been lifted from my pockets after years of carrying their weight. That night, I sleep 8 uninterrupted hours for the first time in 4 years. When morning comes, I stand at my window watching sun illuminate the city. Denver spreads before me, familiar yet somehow new, a landscape of possibility rather than obligation. For the first time since that late-night call 4 years ago when my parents' desperation became my burden, I feel the contours of my own life taking shape. I am not half of anyone. I am whole. I wake to sunlight streaming through curtains I actually chose. 6 months ago, I'd have been checking my bank app first thing, calculating how much I could spend on coffee after the automatic transfer cleared. Today, I stretch luxuriously and smile at the ceiling. My ceiling, my rules, my money. The promotion notification had appeared yesterday afternoon. Project Team Lead. The words still don't feel real. Your dedication and analytical skills make you the perfect candidate, my boss had said, actually looking me in the eye. The whole department recognizes your contributions, Kylie. Recognition. The word settles in my chest like a warm stone. I pull on running shoes and head out for my morning jog, nodding to Mrs. Winters walking her corgi. Big day for your Italian cooking class, right? She calls. The final dinner? Lasagna from scratch, I call back. I'll bring you leftovers! 6 months ago, I wouldn't have known my neighbor's name. Wouldn't have signed up for community center classes. Wouldn't have had money for ingredients beyond ramen and peanut butter. My phone buzzes. Jessica from work. The hiking group's meeting at Boulder Creek Saturday, she says when I answer. You in? Absolutely, I reply, thinking of the new boots I bought last month. The Rockies have become my sanctuary, the vastness putting family drama into perspective. Last weekend, I stood on a summit and screamed into the wind until my throat burned and something inside me loosened. When I return to my apartment, there's an envelope in my mailbox. Thick, official looking. I open it standing right there in the lobby, heart hammering as I unfold the letter. Dear Miss Anderson, we are pleased to inform you of your acceptance. I press the letter to my chest, vision blurring. Graduate program, the one I deferred 4 years ago when that first desperate call came. My phone rings. Aunt Gloria this time. Your father asked me to call, she begins apologetically. He says the doctor's worried about his blood pressure. The stress of possible foreclosure. The mortgage is current through next month, I interrupt, having checked their account status online. I'm sorry about his health concerns, but I can't help anymore. Aunt Gloria sighs. He mentioned there might be some misunderstanding about family obligations. No misunderstanding, I say firmly. I love you, Aunt Gloria. Tell Dad I wish him well. I hang up and check Facebook. Mom's latest post appears at the top of my feed. Heartbroken when children abandon parents who sacrificed everything for them. Family. The implementation numbers are impressive, says Thomas, our director. Kylie's design has reduced processing time by 32%. My colleagues applaud, not polite golf claps, but genuine appreciation. I stand straighter and begin my presentation with confidence I'd never have recognized in myself before. That afternoon, my desk phone rings with an unfamiliar number. Kylie Anderson? This is Marissa Johnson with Parker Executive Search. I'm calling about a director position in Seattle. I nearly dropped the phone. I'm sorry? Your name was recommended by someone very impressed with your compliance system design. The position is with Westlake Financial Technologies. Would you be interested in discussing it? My mouth goes dry. Seattle? 45% salary increase from your current position, plus equity. I scribble the number on a Post-it, promise to call back, and sit stunned at my desk. Seattle, 3 states away from the magnetic pull of familial obligation. A director position, leapfrogging 2 management levels. That evening, I open my laptop and request virtual tours of Seattle apartments. The realtor shows me a 14th floor unit with floor-to-ceiling windows. The Space Needle gleams in the distance. What's the price range? I ask cautiously. She names a figure that 6 months ago would have been impossible. But now, with no mortgage payments draining my account, I pull up a spreadsheet and calculate quickly. 2 years of the offered Seattle salary would equal 4 years of what I'd paid toward my parents' mortgage. The phone rings. Sam. I talked to Dad, she says. He admitted everything. 4 years of you paying their mortgage while they told me you were struggling and they were helping you. Her voice breaks. They took advantage of you. Kylie, I'm so sorry I didn't see it. Something shifts inside me, the last piece of a puzzle clicking into place. It's not your fault. Are you really considering Seattle? She asks. Mom and Dad heard through the grapevine. They're furious you didn't tell them first. I laugh softly. Seattle feels right. I'm ready for something bigger. That weekend, I begin packing my Denver apartment. Each item goes through a simple test. Does this serve my future or anchor me to the past? The donation pile grows larger than the keep pile. My phone pings. The Seattle company. Contract ready for electronic signature. Benefits begin day 1. Relocation assistance included. I look around my half-packed apartment, at the graduate program acceptance letter on my fridge, at the hiking boots by the door. For the first time in my adult life, everything I own represents choices I made for myself. I sign the contract. A month after signing, I stand at the panoramic window of my Seattle condo, watching dawn paint Mount Rainier in amber and rose. 14 floors above the city, I've built a life where I matter, where my voice carries weight. My phone buzzes on the granite countertop. Another text from Mom about how they're managing without my support. I ignore it, sipping coffee that costs more than I would have allowed myself in Denver. Small luxuries no longer trigger guilt. The second buzz isn't from my parents. It's Grace, my former Denver neighbor. Thought you should see this. Sorry. I tap the attachment. The image loads slowly, pixel by pixel, as if my phone is trying to protect me. A vinyl banner stretches across my parents' Tudor-style facade. Bold red letters against white. Congratulations, Sam, for saving the family home. My coffee cup hits the hardwood with a crash. Hot liquid splashes my bare feet, but I barely register the burn. My lungs compress as if squeezed by invisible hands. 4 years, I whisper to the empty room. $84,000. I sink to the floor, ceramic shards pressing into my palms. Not from weakness this time, from rage so pure it requires anchoring to the physical world. They've erased me. Again. But worse, they've rewritten history entirely. When my breathing steadies, I retrieve my laptop and open my banking app. 4 years of statements. 4 years of transfer confirmations. Text from Mom with variations of just this once and we'll pay you back soon. I find the email folder labeled family and extract every desperate plea. Dad's business failures. Mom's medical bills that insurance inexplicably rejected. The roof, the plumbing. The property taxes they forgot were due. The printer hums as I create a paper trail of their deception. While it works, I forward each piece of evidence to my personal email, then to a separate account created solely for this purpose. Digital receipts of years of manipulation. My phone rings. Sam's name flashes. Have you seen it? She asks without preamble. The banner? Yes. Kylie, I swear I had nothing to do with this. They told everyone at church that I've been making their mortgage payments since you abandoned them. I laugh, a hollow sound that bounces off my expensive condo walls. Of course they did. There's more, Sam continues, voice dropping. They're hosting a family appreciation dinner next weekend to honor my sacrifice. The formal invitation arrives in my email that afternoon. Cream-colored electronic stationery with flowing script. Join us in celebrating Samantha's selfless dedication to family values. Mom's voicemail follows. We hope you can set aside our differences to celebrate your sister. Family should support each other in times of recognition. I trace my finger over the date. Next Saturday. I could book a flight. I should book a flight. I dial Jessica, my former coworker who first helped me see the patterns. They're crediting Sam with paying their mortgage, I tell her, voice surprisingly steady. They're throwing her a party for something I did for 4 years. Jessica's silence speaks volumes before she responds. What are you going to do? I'm going to Denver, I say, clicking open my laptop. To tell the truth. Saturday evening, I stand on the familiar porch. Inside, voices mingle with classical music. Dad's carefully curated playlist of impressiveness. I'm wearing a tailored charcoal suit that cost more than I would have spent on 3 months of clothes in my old life. Power armor. The folder under my arm contains every record, printed in duplicate. My laptop bag holds a flash drive with a presentation I've prepared with meticulous detail. Sam opens the door before I knock. You came? She whispers, eyes wide. Did you think I wouldn't? She steps aside, revealing the living room transformed for the occasion. Flowers they can't afford, catering from the expensive place downtown. A projector screen displaying a slideshow titled, The Anderson Family Legacy of Support. Mom spots me first. Her champagne glass halts midway to her lips. Kylie, what a surprise. Her voice carries that artificial brightness reserved for uncomfortable public situations. We weren't sure you'd make it with your busy new life. Dad turns, his practiced smile faltering when he sees my expression. Pumpkin, come in, come in. We're just about to toast your sister's incredible generosity. The room falls quiet as I walk toward the projector. Aunts, uncles, cousins, church friends all watching as I set down my folder. May I add something to the presentation? I ask, my voice carrying across the silent room. Dad hesitates, then nods with the confidence of someone who believes they control the narrative. Of course, of course. Our younger daughter wants to honor her sister too. How wonderful. I connect my laptop to the projector cable, replacing their slideshow with my own. The title slide appears 48 months, $94,000. The truth. Kylie, what's this? Mom asks, voice sharp. The truth, I answer simply. The first slide displays a spreadsheet. Dates, amounts, account numbers partially redacted. Transaction descriptions that tell their own story. Emergency transfer to parents. Mortgage payment. Property tax payment. Insurance premium. I don't think this is appropriate dinner conversation. Mom interjects, moving toward the projector. Neither is lying to your entire social circle, I counter. Clicking to the next slide. Text messages appear, enlarged for everyone to see. Mom, Kylie, we're desperate. Just this once. The bank is threatening foreclosure. Mom, your father's business will recover soon. Just help us through this month. Mom, family comes first, always. We do the same for you. Murmurs ripple through the gathered guests. Aunt Martha's hand covers her mouth. Uncle Pete shifts uncomfortably. You're publicly humiliating us. Dad hisses, face flushed crimson. I meet his gaze steadily. If the truth embarrasses you, that's not my fault. The next slide contrasts Dad's business expense reports with their credit card statements. Golf club memberships, weekend getaways, restaurant bills exceeding what I spent on groceries in a month. Stop this immediately, Mom demands. Voice cracking, but I continue, slide by slide. Building the case, I've subsidized their lifestyle while they showcased Sam as the successful daughter and dismissed my contributions. Sam stands frozen, horror dawning as she comprehends the scale of deception. Not just against me, but against her too, used as their golden child while I was their ATM. When the final slide appears, the banner photo with the truth superimposed, the room has fallen into stunned silence. $84,000, I say quietly. My down payment, my MBA, my future. Aunt Judith, Dad's eldest sister, rises slowly from her seat by the fireplace. For a moment, I think she'll defend them. She always has. Instead, she begins to applaud. Slow, deliberate claps echoing in the silence. It's about time someone told the truth in this family, she says, voice carrying the weight of decades. Two of my cousins nod, recognition in their eyes. The family patterns aren't new, just finally exposed. Mom attempts one last deflection. Family matters should stay private, Kylie. This is inappropriate. Private lickly. Private like the banner on your house? I ask. Sam moves then, crossing the room to stand beside me. She doesn't speak, doesn't need to. Her presence next to me says everything. For the first time in our lives, we face our parents as a united front, the golden child and the invisible one, standing together in truth. And in that moment, I feel the last chains of obligation finally break free. 6 months after the confrontation, Seattle morning light streams through floor-to-ceiling windows, illuminating my face as I stir honey into tea. Sam sits across from me at the corner cafe, her lawyer posture relaxed for once. Hair in a simple ponytail instead of her usual perfect blowout. I still can't believe they showed up here with papers to add your name to the deed, Sam says, shaking her head. After everything. I smile, watching ferry boats cross Elliott Bay. Their version of an apology, I suppose, and you turned it down. Not a question, but a statement of respect. I already own my own home, I tell her, gesturing toward the gleaming high-rise visible from our window. What I need is respect, not a name on paper. 6 months since truth shattered our family's foundation. 6 months of rebuilding, not what was, but something new, something honest. My phone buzzes with an industry newsletter notification. Anderson team wins Innovation Award for Compliance Solution. My team. My leadership. Sam notices my smile. Another win? I show her the screen. Vice President sounds good before my name, doesn't it? Better than secret mortgage payer, she grins. You're speaking at that finance conference next month, right? Ethical leadership panel. I laugh at the irony. Apparently standing up to financial exploitation qualifies me as an expert. Later that evening, I lace up hiking boots as 3 friends wait by the door. No elaborate excuses about tight budgets. No calculating whether I can afford gas. Just 4 women heading to Mount Rainier because the wildflowers are blooming. Rachel asked about you again, Tina says as we drive, wiggling her eyebrows suggestively. The architect? Heat crawls up my neck. Nothing to do with embarrassment, everything to do with possibility. Dating without financial anxiety feels like breathing new air. On Tuesday, I stand before 20 young women at the community center's financial literacy workshop. Boundaries aren't selfish, I tell them, voice steady with conviction earned through fire. They're the foundation of authentic relationships. A girl in the back row asks, But what if it's family? Especially then, I answer, meeting her eyes directly. When Sam visits in August, we cook pasta in my kitchen, tomato sauce bubbling as Frank Sinatra plays. Mom would have hovered, critiquing our technique. Tonight, there's only laughter as Sam spills wine on my countertop. Remember when Mom would measure the pasta portions? Sam asks, twirling noodles. 2 ounces for you, 3 for Dad, 1 for me because actresses need to stay slim. And now look at us. I gesture to our heaping plates. Rebels with carbs. We talk late into the night about childhood patterns we never questioned, about adult choices we're making differently. I've been thinking about taking a real vacation, Sam says. Not a networking opportunity disguised as relaxation, just joy. Where would you go? I ask she corrects. Where would we go? Sisters only. My throat tightens unexpectedly. A year later, I open a new account. Seed money for my niece's education. Not from obligation, but from choice. At the community center, my financial boundaries workshop has doubled in size. Setting limits isn't about rejecting others, I explain. It's about honoring yourself enough to bring your whole healthy self to relationships. In my journal, I write year 1 of my authentic life at the top of a fresh page. Below it, not accomplishments or goals, but truths. That worth isn't measured in sacrifice. That love without respect is just use. That starting over at 30 isn't failure, it's courage. Evening finds me on my balcony, watching sunset paint the Olympic mountains gold, then purple, then blue. No phone buzzing with financial emergencies. No mental calculations of what remains in my account. Just this moment, just me, finally home in my own life. The view from 14 floors up shows more than just Seattle's skyline. It shows the distance I've traveled, not in miles, but in self-worth. 4 years and $84,000 bought my parents' mortgage, but cost me nearly everything. These past months of freedom, they've given me something priceless, myself. My phone sits silent on the glass table beside me. No desperate texts, no guilt-laden voicemails, no flying monkeys dispatched to bring me back in line. Just blessed, earned peace. Tomorrow I'll wake up in my own bed, in my own home, to my own life. I'll make decisions based on my dreams, not their demands. I'll build relationships rooted in mutual respect, not manipulation disguised as love. But tonight, I simply exist in this moment of profound gratitude. Not for what I've gained, though the promotion, the condo, the genuine friendships all matter, but for what I've lost, the crushing weight of being responsible for everyone except myself. The city lights begin to twinkle as darkness falls. Somewhere out there, my parents are probably crafting new narratives, finding new ways to avoid accountability. That's their choice. Just as this life, this freedom, this fierce protection of my own worth is mine. I raise my glass of juice to the darkening sky. To the woman I'm becoming, I whisper. May she never again mistake exploitation for love. The stars appear one by one, and I stay on my balcony long into the night, finally understanding that sometimes the greatest act of love, for others and for yourself, is simply saying no and meaning it.